Hello, everybody. Today is Tuesday, January 19th of the year 2021, and we just read the Cameo 10 titled Under Construction in A Course in Miracles, which is based on the original handwritten notes of Helen Schuckman, which is the complete and annotated edition. In other words, the Purple Book. Today was a very interesting and revealing conversation or cameo we had about Helen and her process as she's slowly accepting her role as a miracle worker. Now, I came across a very interesting aspect, of a realization, a revelation that she had. So I'll pose the same question to both of you. On page 1744, the last paragraph starts off. Finally, she wonders if she should take the baby that Terry is considering giving away. But then she realizes this may not be under instruction. It may be an indiscriminate miracle impulse, an impulse to express love that, even though it's well-intentioned, is not truly guided, and thus not best for all concerned. So the question is, we see the scenario where she wants to do a miracle. She has an impulse to do a miracle working, but it's not under instruction from Jesus or from God. So how does one balance that when they come to that decision? She wants to adopt the baby, but then again, it's not under instruction. So how does someone struggle with that? Your thoughts on how you proceed?
Well, I found it very interesting in this cameo how many times it was written instruction. How many times it was written that she was waiting for instruction, or there was a under instruction or guidance. So what I'm getting is that her daily thing, she was always consciously trying to be connected to God, and she was always, but it was a decision that she was always referring to, well, I have desires, I have needs, I want to help, I want sometimes to help maybe too much, but she was waiting. She had those impulses, but she was always, I admire that a lot, that she was referring only to what Jesus was going to tell her to do. And in this cameo, it's like, when you read it, that's all it says. She was waiting for instructions, for daily things, small things like washing her hair, getting her hair done. She was about to do it, and then Jesus said, no, it's not time to do that. Go visit your mother-in-law. And she was not very happy to do that. But the balance, I mean, like, I don't think so. I would hope that eventually I'm not going to have to balance that. I would like eventually to be in contact and to refer to God to even the specific in my life, the daily specific, to refer like her, and to be guided by that. I would love that eventually. Now I do it a little bit, but I don't do it enough. It's an inspiring cameo for me.
Yeah,
for that.
Because here we see how Helen tries to address her personal lack. Wanting to have a baby, or wanting to wash her hair, etc.
Or taking me time. She was washing her hair. So maybe it was just to take me time.
That's it. And what she was trying to adopt the baby is a miracle impulse, but it was trying to fill her lack that she didn't have any children or something. But again, Jesus, God said, no. It's not the right thing to do right now.
Yeah.
Same thing with washing her hair. She wanted to wash her hair. He said, no, go visit your mother-in-law. It's more important right now.
And for me, when you were reading the cameo, what struck me is even if somebody's passed or deceased or just passed away, to continue praying. She was instructed to pray for Dave as he died from brain cancer. So Jesus could help him, for him to love everyone, even when he's deceased, even when somebody passes away. How amazing is that? Because sometimes, I don't know for you guys, but you have a tendency of thinking, well, They passed away. Now they're in peace, they're in love, they're in light. But when I read this, I'm not saying the contrary. I believe it. But it doesn't mean you cannot pray for them.
You know what I liked also about that? The way she was praying for him. She was directly speaking to him. And then Jesus came and joined her in her prayer.
Yes.
But, you know, like I never thought, I don't think so. I never thought that, you know, like when you pray for somebody, you speak directly to them. I love that. I would do it with my animals and stuff like that, you know, but with people, I just pray God and I talk to God and I feel like I'm like I'm intervening or an intervention or maybe a mediator, but I'm trying to connect God and see what he can do and make a miracle. But speaking directly in a prayer, directly to the person.
Yes.
And it works better when he's asleep.
That too. But wait, I want to say a note about what you just said, because Daniel instructed me. Of course, he was guided for sure. What he told me, he goes, pray directly to Melanie and tell her how much you love her, how much she's loved. And that's what I do every day, directly to her.
Even though she's no longer of the body.
Yes, exactly. Even though she's gone and she's, yes. And that's what he told me. And that's what I started doing. And it's an everyday thing now.
Yeah. But you know, like I'm hearing you talking and I do that, but it's now that I see the way you explained this prayer, it was like not only just like, I'm sure you do that also, but it's like we send love and we think about them and I wish you are this and I wish you are that and I whatever. But she had like kind of like a specific subject, and she aimed for that, and she did a long prayer by his side when he was sleeping, and for that I was kind of like surprised of this.
When her husband was sleeping, she was doing a prayer for him.
For him, and then also Dave.
For Dave, yeah.
But a long prayer and speaking directly to him in her prayer.
Yes, absolutely.
So
with Jesus, and Jesus joined her. Yeah. How amazing is that? You know? Yeah. And the thing that strikes me, guys, is, Lord, I will leave my desire to help him or her in your hands. Yeah. If you will to tell me what to do, I will to do it. And that's something, to be honest, that I slipped my mind, or I forgot, or I was not doing. And for now, it's something I will to do.
Yeah, instead of like just doing the miracle, or just not asking like the
instructions, like you said,
and leave him in your hands. I like that. Him or her in your hands.
Yes. And how quickly did she realize that by wanting to do a miracle by adopting the baby, that it came from a lack? How quickly did she turn around?
Yep.
And ask for the instruction? You know? How amazing is that?
Because originally she was addressing a personal lack that was beyond her instruction. It was just something very deep rooted in her. Like, she never had children. And here she had an opportunity to adopt someone's child. But she was open enough to hear from Jesus, to hear from God saying, no, I know you love her, that just fills your lack, but this is not the instruction that you have to go forward. And that must have been hard on her, nonetheless. You know, to let go of her lacks, let go of her needs, and to go for something greater than that.
And you know, I'm sorry, Angelique, I'm sorry, just another little thing I want to say. You know, at the beginning it says, when she was praying, she was directing her prayer not to the brain cancer, not to the effect, but to the cause, which was the spirit. That's another thing that's beautiful. I mean, we're all learning how to, and we are under construction, like the Cameo says, you know, showing us how. Pray.
Yeah. And you know what struck me, and this is another one big takeaway for me, is that when we pray, we do a miracle, we do it also for, because at a point when they were, it was explained that she was the atoning for towards her husband because she didn't treat him so well, and then she was also atoning to Dave, and I was like, what? How come going and see the mother-in-law? I understand that it would atone for her husband, but I didn't understand why it would do it to Dave also. But then at the last page of this cameo, it explains that when you do that, when you do when you are in love and you give love and you're atoning, you're doing it to everybody because there's a oneness there. There's a universe, and it says though that it goes out because this it goes out to everybody because of the universal in her. You know, like she has the sense of being.
Yeah.
She's not centered in her mind, but she's open to the universe, and that is why it's whatever she's doing, whoever she's touching more. She's touching even like
everyone. She's touching everyone because it's saying that by being one,
that is powerful.
It unites all creations with their creator. So by being one, guys, it unites all creations with their creators. Miracles arises from a miraculous state of mind, which is a state of love. This state of mind goes out to anyone, even without the awareness of the miracle worker itself. So sometimes we're not even aware when we're instructed to do a miracle, which is sending love, it's going to go touch everyone that's open, ready, that's willing.
So imagine that, you know, Helen was thinking, I'm going to wash my hair. But she got the idea of that from Jesus that, no, go visit your mother-in-law. So she had a bit of resistance there because she did not like her mother-in-law, right? But she listened to it nonetheless, and she was like, you know, dragging her feet. So, okay, I'm going to go visit my mother-in-law. But then once she got into the elevator, it's like she got a revelation saying, you know what? Yes, I will go. It's not just to atone for. It's to allow the past to go, to atone not just for her, but for Dave's mom also.
Yeah, and for the lack of love she showed her husband.
Yeah,
and about the past,
she felt an atonement that has to be done.
Yeah.
And about what you were saying, I was just reading. Ellen's loving act can wipe away Dave's past lovelessness because of what miracles really are.
Yes.
That's something.
That's deep. I mean, it undoes the past. And guys, not only the past lives, because now
that was a question I had. Because they're talking about past life, that some stuff could appear in your life, but now when they do talk about that, they add past life. But when they talk about atonement, it says that past not very good actions are just in the past. It doesn't say past life loveliness.
I know, because I think that humans in this reality, this dream, they tend to refer the past as in this lifetime and not the past in all lifetime. You know, they separate.
No, but I mean, like in the book, they kind of separate.
But for me, the past is also past lives. It's not only
nice.
but it is, because right now what happened with Jonathan is that he was caring for books, and even the one that were like, you know, not so great, not in shape, really not printed or not published and stuff like that, because of his guilt in a past life where he must have destroyed the Alexandrian library. So he carried out this guiltiness. Therefore, he was trying to undo that, you know. And I love the fact that miracles go beyond. But that's what it does. It says it throughout the book. It undoes the past. You are not guilty. Higher court is there. you never sin. First of all, sin is a lack of love. So it never happened. How amazing is that?
Yeah, that's amazing.
And it's true, because for him, it was like an imaginary darkness from the past. So in a way, even though he was living in the present, Why do you have this affinity with, running a used bookstore, rare books, antiquities, etc., because an imaginary darkness from the past, which he may have experienced as being, destructive. But
I
again,
don't think it was imaginary though.
it says here it's imaginary darkness, but he felt it. He felt it was something, so he didn't know how to relate to it, but he did it. But part of the atonement, it takes a form of wiping away the past by giving love where he once gave hate. So if he was someone who hated the library, burned down everything, in this life, this present form, he's giving love to it by trying to restore the antiquities, trying to bring it, the rare books for everyone else to share.
Okay, because when I was
love now.
Because when I was reading it, it was like, as I read it was like, one is hold on, I just read it right here. It's something like, one is attempt to speculate that, one is attempt to speculate that Lewis' career as a bookstore owner selling used rare and outprinted books was an unconscious attempt to make up for whatever role he may have played in the destruction of the library.
Yeah, the imaginary darkness. I guess it's well, we say imaginary darkness. It's part of the unconscious. It's there in the back. He's not sure how to address it. Doesn't know how to deal with it. But he just has a feeling of it. Like there's something that he has to atone.
I think he was not conscious of it.
No, but that's, how I understand it is that sometimes things happen to us in our life, and we don't understand why, and we kind of we're kind of stuck in a loop, and it's always happening, and
Yeah.
maybe it's part of. Sometimes you can't understand it, and it's part of our past life stuff that we have to clear up and clean up, and he was cleaning up probably what he had done in the past life. For this destroying the library, but now, and not knowing why he was so desiring, or just cleaning out these books, and maybe he didn't even realize it, but he needed to do it. It was like, sometimes we do things and we don't know why. Maybe it comes from the past.
Yeah,
And I find it's kind of like interesting just to maybe, if I reflect on my life and I reflect on stuff that I don't understand why. And what if I don't need to understand why? But maybe it comes from a past life. Maybe it's just something I have to treat and fix.
give love. Yeah,
give love. Exactly.
Because the message here says the message that she and Jesus give to Lewis is one of freedom from the past. Wow.
Right. That's right.
They tell him that he should forget about any wrongdoing from long ago, because it does not matter. And he has shown a lot of love in this life, and he should claim his forgiveness.
Rather than continuing to hurt himself over ancient misdeeds, he must establish his freedom.
How amazing is that?
That's amazing.
That's
pretty cool. It's very inspiring. It's very instructive.
Yeah. It does give a big explanation of some of the impulses we have to do certain things that we do. Is it a form of like atonement for something we did in the past? We don't know. Or is it just our character? We don't know. But the important thing is, this is like it's an instruction from Jesus, from God, to say, well, do this.
Yeah, I think that you're right. The basic of this cameo is to refer to God, refer to Jesus, through anything.
Yeah, it's whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is that you're doing, and you don't quite understand. Just like you said, Angela, we don't understand what we're doing. It's probably a message from Jesus, from God, saying, okay, maybe this has something to do with to atone for something that happened in the past, whether in this life, consciously or unconsciously, or in the past life or something.
I find that it's very freeing, because you kind of like, okay, you know what? First of all, I have a solution, but not only that, I'm not guilty of anything.
That's huge. That's huge. people could grasp that you are not guilty of anything, if people could realize those words, the freedom you feel, my
Oh
goodness.
my gosh. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I will, guys, and I'm telling you right now, will ask for instructions before I give out a miracle, and ask what, first of all, what they need, and should I do it? You know, I mean, I will, I will to do, I will to do this. I will do it exactly like he says in Cameo 10. You know, that beautiful Lord, I will leave my desire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The line must be the fine line between our desire to help and sometimes
Our desire for lack. Yeah.
no, I was going to say the message that Jesus will tell us what to do. It could be like not very clear sometimes, depending on whatever state we are.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's it. And you're right, Angelique. We have to like try to recognize that fine line. It's okay. Is it this? Okay. When we're doing miracle working, is it instruction from God, or is it our ego trying to fill in a lack of something? There's always a fine line between that, and it's hard to recognize that, but we got to try nonetheless. We have to accept. We have to, like, again, Helen, go into the elevator. I don't want to see my mother-in-law. But she felt something else. She felt the instruction. This is for the greater good, the greater miracle.
Yeah, but I think that also, Angelique, what she meant, because that's what I meant. I meant, is it coming from love or from lack? But I think what Angelique meant is like, it's even a little bit deeper. Correct me, Angelique, if I'm wrong. It's, am I doing the right miracle? Like, why don't I let God decide what miracle should I do? Who am I to decide which miracle needs to be done or how? Let me just stay silent and hear instructions. Because sometimes we are urged to do it our own way. It doesn't mean that it comes from lack, but we want to do it in our way instead of letting God do it. And maybe we don't even have to do a miracle at the moment, and yet we still do it. And we're not instructed. So I think it's important to follow those steps. And he said it many times. Instruction.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Joanne, because brings to mind that there's a subtle difference between miracle worker, which is the instruction from God, and miracle doer, which is something we want to do.
Right? True.
Good point.
Good point.
We're miracle workers, not miracle doers.
I like that, Fern. You should put that in the Mighty Companion. I really like that. It's true. We're miracle workers, not miracle doers. Very different. Miracles are coming through us from God, not from us. But the ego always wants to do something, always wants to be part of, hey, I'm here. Lately, you've been like not paying attention.
Yeah.
You're leaving me all alone. But yeah, amazing. Wow, there's a lot of material in this short one, but a lot of stuff I've learned.
Yeah, and that's what I find about these cameos. We see the whole course of miracles comes from Helen and her writings, whatnot. But these cameos about her inner thoughts and what she was going through, her struggles, and trying to understand what's going on, and reading about the struggles gives us, I hope, an insight into not just what she was going through, but what we are going through too. So, okay, maybe now I can understand what she was going through. Understand?
We could identify ourselves as Ellen or Louis.
Totally.
I mean, Bill. Sorry, but even Louis, even Louis, Dave, Jonathan, Mrs. Alba. I mean, all of them. Esther, the wife Terry. Like, even though they weren't, I guess they weren't having a happy marriage, and nobody wanted Terry in the room while Dave was slowly passing. She still didn't leave his side. She was still in the hospital. Imagine that, guys.
Till the end. Imagine that.
She was still there, roaming down the corridor and just staying there. And she needed to, and that it's not mentioned here, but I think that's a miracle for itself. The love made her stay there, because the ego would have said, "You don't want me here," she would have left. No, she stayed. She stayed.
Yeah.
anyways, I love the fact that I love everything about about this book. I just find it just amazing.
Yeah, and so and the very last sentence of the Cameo is that, you know, if Helen is a lesson for us here, the lesson is that miracle working comes from being under instruction.
Yes.
You know, it's like we gotta be open to it and listen. You know, and again, going back to us being human beings, we have our egos, or even though we think we let our egos go, but we're also thinking, I need this, right? I got to do this. I need this. I do that. But we have to listen to that, to Jesus when he says, no, don't do that now. Later, forget it. Don't buy that coat now. Buy the coat that you need. No, don't adopt that baby.
You know, a little thought on ego. I don't think that we think ego left us. For me, I don't believe ego left me, because I believe that if ego completely left me, I would not see the world the same. I don't think I would be here anymore if ego would have left me. I manage him, and I realized that at the beginning I kind of hated him. So, and I used to say him, I would refer him as a male, imagine. But now it's it. It is it. And I do not hate him. I do not love him. I do not give it importance. By me hating it, to give it importance. By me loving it, to give it importance. By me naming it, gives it importance. So I decided it's a it. And when it comes, I just recognize it, push it, use a denial, replace that with love. I pray with Jesus. And that's when I start feeling peace and love again.
That's it, because it's undeniable that we coexist with our ego, because it's what is part of us anyway. It's just a question of, like you said, Joanne, it's like, you know, deny the ego, or just say, yeah, shut up, or whatever, don't talk to me today. Or otherwise, sometimes we got to listen, you know, just say, because it's telling us what to do. But otherwise, it's coexistence. There's a balance we have to figure out there.
Yeah, it's like the black wolf and the white wolf story, you know. Which one will you feed?
Yes.
You know,
yes.
Would you feed the black wolf or the white wolf? You know, it's the same thing. It's either ego or love.
You know, if you don't mind, I would like it, because at the beginning of the Cameo, maybe we could end with this. Are we finished? Or
yeah, we could end with this.
Because the Cameo refers to the 43rd principle.
Yeah, principle 43.
And I just want to read the title, or not the title, but the first paragraph.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Okay. A major contribution of miracles is their strength in releasing a person from his misplaced sense of isolation, deprivation, and lack. They are affirmation of sonship, which is a state of completion and abundance. And then if you read at paragraph 4, because I stopped, I noticed it was really nice. And it kind of resumed what we were talking about. To change your mind means to place it at the disposal of the true authority. The miracle is thus a sign that the mind has elected to be guided by Christ in his service, capital letters.
Mm-hmm.
The abundance of Christ is a natural result of choosing to follow him. So Helen, in this Cameo, she really chose. She under the true authority, and it's God that's guiding her life in every little things in her life. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a great connection right there. Yes, it's that's very revealing also. Thank you, Angelique. Wow, yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, thank you very much again, Fern, for reading for us.
Yes. It was a nice discussion. I love you guys so much.
Love you guys too. And if you guys like it, what you are listening to, what you're just subscribe, like, and put your comments. So everybody have a great day. Sending out some love.
Lots of love. We'll catch up later. Lots of love, everybody. God bless.
Good day.